that I'm seeing your audio.
Check, check, 1, 2.
All right. So, hello everyone. First of all, if we are doing something stupid with our stream, let us know, because apparently we've been doing that quite a lot lately and not realizing until later. Um, wait, let me, nah. Let me pull up the stream chat too. That's what I'm trying to do there. Okay, so Jay, where do we leave off before?
Uh, you, it's a good question, but now I see the right thing. I'm trying to watch the stream to make sure it looks right. Where do we leave off? Well, with your email, apparently. Uh, let's go look at
That
the
is
history.
actually where we left off. So it's accurate. And what's that thing like consistency checks in movies?
Mhm. Yeah, let's see. Move. We did leave ourselves a to do, and I don't know if it's worth looking at this. Oh, let's go look at the to do. Start cleaning here. Okay. Whatever you say,
Yay!
past self.
Claire says it's working good, so that
Was all of this.
is good enough for me. Okay, so we have a to do. Start cleaning here. Oh right. So last time we meant to clean here. This is a note from 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
But we spent all our time basically in the thing above us, which was what? It was build cell groups. Yeah. And if I remember right, the thing we did in here that was interesting, if you go into one of those, um,
We had this. We did talk about the idea that row and column here deserve to be their own concept, separate from the value.
yeah, but that's not the thing I want to deal with at the moment. I want to deal with
Okay.
the fact that cell has now the ability to check something. Not Sudoku board has the ability to say, uh, scroll up to the board or something. There's get candidates. No, that's not it. Scroll down maybe. Get rows. Something that starts with an is probably. Scroll down. Is digit possible? That's what I'm curious about.
Mhm.
For a given cell, we can now check if a digit is possible, which is really useful.
Going to the masks.
Yeah. So now we have a place to encapsulate it. So let's go take the rest of that function and see what we can do now that we have a nicer thingy.
Okay. And then one of the other ideas that we found is that there's rows and columns have two different uh, roles. They show up in two different places. One is where am I on the board? That's just the structure of the board.
Uh huh.
And then the other is about what are the rules of the constraints. And standard Sudoku has three kinds of constraint: a row constraint, a column constraint, and a block constraint.
Yeah.
But you can play with those.
Yeah.
And you could imagine a Sudoku that does not have a row constraint, but does have rows because you still need to be able to find
To
positions.
identify it. Yeah.
And so somewhere eventually you might have two different levels with two different
I actually
domains, two
like
different levels of
the
abstraction.
labels you use there too, which is like row constraint and column constraint,
Yeah,
as opposed to row and column,
right.
right?
So at some point we may have like over here is things about constraints, and over here is the layout of the board, and have them be separate, even though they use this word row and column in both contexts.
It's like the same name, but it means different.
Yep. Two different bounded contexts. So
It's like when you, yeah, it's like the difference of calling your kid like Thomas and Mr. Thomas Puha Yarby. Like those are the same. It's the same person, but it's a very different concept. Like, um, all right. So let's go and take a look um, at the note we left ourselves.
okay. Was that up here?
No, it was in a strategy. Yeah. This thing is too big and ugly and icky.
Sure.
So start cleaning here. What does this do? Two mask digits. This does not. find the places where the masks count equals 2, distinct to list.
Let's see what this type is that we end up with. It can't write the type. It's a list of, an anonymous type that contains mask description and other stuff. List of cells. Oh, there's another cell with description. Is this like it's a position?
It looks like it, but it has a mask. Why a mask? Can we go see what that mask is used for? The description isn't used, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Which means we can get rid of it?
Remove redundant name?
Oh, no, it is used. It's just
okay.
even no, keep that name.
This would explode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where does it explode? Right there.
Down there.
It's just a kind of a diagnostic sort of thing.
So we have a cell. Wait, is the cell actually a cell? What's a group? A group is a list cell with description. So considering that we now have a cell with description, I don't think we need the description. Let's get rid of this description. And
do you think we can get this description?
I think we can get it from here. Yeah. Since it's just the first thing anyways. Dot cells dot first dot get description.
Nope.
That didn't work like you would expect.
Oh, there we go. It was just being slow.
Oh, okay, cool. Yes, commit that.
And this is it's with query. Oh, one of the first refactorings in the refactoring book.
And then we can get rid of 31, we think. All right, commit that.
We don't really need something down here. What is it? This. We don't need them all the time.
So this whole, like, whatever's going on in 20, and I think 17, gives us groups, right? And the groups are the masks and the cells. And I think the mask, how's the mask being used?
It goes there. If the candidate masks is not the group mask, and the candidate masks ended with the group mask is anything.
So this candidate mask tuple index is not equal to mask. How does that relate to? Can we go check? There's something so weird here. But go check the is thing on Sudoku board. So it looks like there's two things that we do. One is we check if it's not equal, and the other is we check if it is. If when we AND it with a mask, it's not equal to 0, then it's possible. Okay. And this first part is making the mask, right? So let's go back to where we were. And here, so greater than 0 is the same as not equal to 0. Let's change that so it's consistent.
What is that refactoring called?
I don't know, but we need to do it on 27 as well. And then what I really want to do is get rid of this mask. So let's go up.
These as well?
No, not that one. Not that one. Not.
It's doing the same thing. It's still a mask.
Is temp a mask? Oh, temp is a mask. But it's not the same thing because it's when mask is ANDed that it's doing the same thing.
It's the same concept over and over. It's asking, is this 0 or is this?
It's not the same concept. Well, yes, it is the same concept. Okay, yeah. Do it. You're right. You're right. And the fact that I even had to think about that is the reason you should do what you just did.
All right. Where were we? You said, what is mask doing? We're trying to figure out this line right here.
Yeah, but actually I want to go back to Sudoku board.
Let's put these. Thanks.
And I want to take line 280 out and extract it as a method. And I want to call that get mask for.
Or digit?
Sure. Good. And make that public just in case. And also you can inline it.
Inline it?
No,
inline
yeah.
the local.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's go back. And scroll up to where we make the masks.
So there's a lookup here. That sure looks a lot like this.
Where? What? That looks a lot like that. Yeah, that. So I think this is check mask for candidate, but I really want to. Well, yeah, sure. No, you're right. You're right. Pull it into duplication. Pull it into a method. Let's put everything in one place so we can at least swap it out appropriately where it's needed.
Yeah, I don't really know.
No, it's fine.
What
Just
does it look like?
just extract line 281. Is digit possible? Yep.
It takes a cell.
Takes.
Should it take a cell index? I'm noticing
No,
this
it
call
takes
right
all
here
three
is-
things right now.
So we're gonna fix it.
Well, I mean, we don't worry about what it should. Right now, we just worry about what it is.
The should I'm looking for is not what a good design would be, but what is usable here.
Yes, it's all three of those things. So pass into here, make it public. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're right. Pull out cell to index.
I guess I was just refactoring coloring. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is cell index.
I didn't realize tuple and index and cell index, and then we can get rid of cell and the is digit possible. And then
Hoping it would just offer to take this away.
it does. Safe delete. Yeah. And then let's call this on 27. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Now needs the mask and the candidate masks. Candidate masks and mask and cell index. And not equal to 0 goes away. Man, am I editing?
Oh. Huh. I understand what's going on here.
Do you like the change that we just did?
Yeah. And also do that down on 48. But I'm liking something else more. So we look at the candidate masks. Like what this is actually doing here, right? I think what it's doing is finding all... No, wait. So it's taking all the candidate masks and checking where they equal 2. We're looking for all the things that have 2 digits. So, and then we're getting those back as a list of candidate masks, which is weird. What I really would like this to be is cells, right? Like what you want to say is, give me all the cells where there are only 2 possibilities. But then where is it using the concept of columns and rows? Ugh.
I don't know.
Down here. Okay, so I'm just going to say it out loud. I'm feeling like I just want to rewrite this. But I think that's a bad idea. Because even though I think we have a reasonably well-defined thing, we have random coming in here, so it's going to be order dependent. I think it's a bad idea to rewrite it. But the temptation, feeling tempted, I think that's worth admitting.
Nice. Thank you for being open and vulnerable about your desire to rewrite.
Thank you.
So you could imagine us doing a time box rewrite. We could just say we're going to do 5 minutes of rewrite and see where that gets us. I think where it would get us is, I know a way to do this in smaller increments. And if we know a way to do it in smaller increments, then we'll revert and come back and start refactoring. But maybe with that in mind, we can see some more small refactorings we can do now to get us to the point where a small rewrite will feel okay.
Yeah. All right. I like that. You're right, because the thing that's doing here, no, it is. It's going through and finding all the masks for a candidate that have 2. And then we're grouping this cell groups. What's cell groups?
That's what we worked on last time.
That's the thing we worked on last time, of the rows, columns, and things. And then we get out of here and we get a list of masks and cells. But is cell actually cell? What's group? Group. Can you hover over group and tell me what it is?
A list of cell with description.
No. That is also a list of cell with description. Okay. So for this mask, we have this cell with description. Okay. And then if we scroll down, we don't have any, we jump out. Then what's going on in this for each? Let's pull this whole for each out.
You want the whole loop or the body?
The body, I guess. Applesauce.
That would have been better than what I chose. But no, it would have been worse. That did not work.
Undo.
Because it does not extract very well in the face of
the fact that masks and cells are there. Fair enough. So go to group.cells and pull it out as a variable, local variable on 44.
Just a sec. We can pull out the for loop itself.
No. This is fine. Oh, well, no, you also can't. Pull out on line 44, groups.cells. Local variable.
It is a local variable.
No, it's not. There's a thingy underneath it. Grab groups.cells. I'm going to ask you to trust me for a second.
Oh, this.
Pull that out. Yeah.
Okay. I trust you. I just didn't understand you.
Yeah, that's fair. Sure, cells with descriptors. Sounds good. And then figure out cells dot or group dot mask and pull that out.
Where
It's on
is
line
that?
48. Or there is an
Create
instance on line 48. Keep going.
group.mask.
Pull that out. And then pull out the whole rest of this. So basically what we just did is said, hey, we have an anonymous object, demarshal it.
Yeah.
Keep going. Yep, that whole thing. Applesauce.
Should have a hotkey just for
We
applesauce.
should have a hotkey for applesauce. Hot applesauce.
Some cinnamon.
Yeah. That sounds really good right now. That's what happens when you code hungry. Okay, so let's scroll up and look at what's going on here. So the first thing we do is we get these groups. And then the next thing is we go through them and we applesauce them. And if one of those is here, so whatever this does, it has to be modifying the cells with descriptors. But that doesn't make a lot of sense because, it has to be modifying candidate masks because candidate mask is the only thing that still keeps existing when this method is done. So I really, really want to deal with that. So I want to pass the Sudoku board into 45. And then I want to go and see where candidate masks is being mutated in this thing. Yeah, so keep going. No, candidate mask.
Terrible name.
Oh yeah, that definitely.
It's not being mutated. Any of
Yeah, it is.
there. 110.
Okay, not disagreeing with you, but I thought I saw one earlier as well.
That's a read.
Oh, that's a read. Okay. So right here, candidate masks of cell index and or mask.
And equals not mask.
Yeah. So
which is removing the
yeah.
mask.
Yeah, so I want to pull this into Sudoku board. So what I want to do here is say, I'm not entirely sure how to do this, but go to line 110. And no, I'm gonna do a rewrite at this moment. So on 110, we're gonna say Sudoku board dot remove possibility. You're gonna pass it the cell. Oh. So from the map, we remove possibilities. You're going to pass it the cell, and then you're going to pass it, for right now, Sudoku board dot get digits for mask. Okay, so you can obviously see what I'm writing here is crap. So comment this out, and let's work on that get digits for mask. And we're going to TDD this. So go to get digits for mask. Oh man, no, don't do this right now. Let's do it simpler.
Are you trying to turn this into a function?
Masks to remove. Values to remove. Yes. It appears that I am trying to do that because we're printing them out. pull out 93. Nice catch, Jay. 93 through 104. Pull that
Okay,
out
should
as...
I revert? Do we need this line? I mean, do we want to keep this as a reference?
Yeah, just for a moment, just so I don't have to
Sure.
think about it.
Okay.
Pull that out as a method. Yeah. No, it's get masks. Get masks. Get digits for mask. And I'm feeling pretty strong about that, but just to make it absolutely sure, do a private, turn that private public, and let's write a quick locking test. And what do you think? 3 is good enough? So make a range from 1 to 9. What?
So
No,
when I
no,
call
no,
it,
no.
it's got to be in public there.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. But also make me a range from 1 to 9. Var. Digits. Next, make me a combination verification. Thank you for translating that. Verify all combinations. We'll deal with the function in a second, but it takes ABC. So ABC goes to null. It goes to empty string. Thank you for the help, Sharper. And then it's going to take digits. Okay, and then take the empty string and let's expand that out to like curly braces around it and stuff. No. Actually, curly braces around it. Yeah, there we go. And inside of here, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to say var mask equals Sudoku board dot get mask for digit A and get mask for digit B, and yeah. So that gives us 3 digits. And then the next thing is we're going to return that thing we called here, try to find pairs for... That's a fantastic name. When it's too long to say, like when your voice gives out mid-variable, that should be a sign.
It's incomplete.
Mask. Dot to readable array. Yeah, string. That's our thing. Get rid of the rest of this stuff. And let's run that. Oh, yeah, there's a comma you're missing, yeah.
So much that's not done yet.
What? No, just get rid of the comma at the end. Yeah, run that. Wait, what just happened?
Things are not all public. That's internal.
I mean, this should fail because it's a new test. We're going to have to run it manually. I just wanted to confirm that what we think this is doing, it's actually doing. It's not actually doing. So 1, 1, 1, these should, yeah. We don't want duplicates, but even so, oh, it's or. Yeah, why bits suck. In our test. Yeah. Did you rerun that?
No, I didn't, but it's actually a copy of the received. Let's open it. It's the received there.
Yeah, that's looking good. That's actually exactly what we want. So it is telling us it's creating the mask and then it's pulling the mask. And hey, nice, it's doing it in order. So throw that over.
Okay, we need to name this test.
We need some what?
We need to name the test.
Oh, yeah. How about test get digits for mask?
The previous
Sure.
one, I tested the name, so
Sure.
at the end, I don't care.
That's not right. But I'm for inconsistently wrong, but more than yeah. So move that over. Okay. So it does do what we think it does. So now go to back to where we were.
3 minutes to deal with commits.
Oh, good point.
So you got, I think it's all making stuff public here.
Yeah, this is all a refactor supported by tests. But I would actually submit everything except for the unit test as refactor, make public and extract.
The extract happened already as its own commit.
Did it? Okay, make public. And then this is going to be a T test, whatever it is that we're testing, mask, get mask, digits for mask. Yeah, there we are. Okay, so now let's go back to where we came from. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so here, what I want to do is on 100, I want to here do this Sudoku call remove possibilities and Sudoku board get digits for mask, which we already have, which is values to report, is values to remove. No, you don't even have to do the get for mask. You can just right there say values to remove. We have it already. And then create that. And then in here, this is going to go back and let's go grab that line of code. We're going to grab line 99. That candidate's mask is going to be get candidate's mask or something like that. Let's get something. Get candidates. There it is. No, that's it. Oh, dot board maybe? Sure.
Questionable name.
Okay. I'll do it anyway, so. And then inside, or go back to our test. And that OR statement on 68, we're going to extract that into a, well, we're just going to test drive it. Say mask equals
Where?
68.
Okay, so we're rewriting 68.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too much.
Mask equals Sudoku board dot get mask for digits. It's plural. And pass it ABC. And then, yeah, and then create that. And this is going to be a params array. Digits. And then you're basically going to make an int 0.
int 0.
Yeah, sure. And then you're going to say for each digit in digits, uh, 0 or equals digit. No, not digit. It's going to be get mask for digit. Yeah, digit. And then you're going to return 0. And then we'll rename 0 to mask as soon as this passes. And so on line 299, change that to get masks for digits and pass it values to remove dot to array. All right, I'm expecting this to work. It's not working. So that's always a not so happy sight. It is wait, is that working?
Hanging.
Oh, it is
There we go.
working.
Now it passed.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Wait, did it pass by you deleting comments?
No,
Okay,
it
good,
was just
because
being slow.
no part of that made sense to me. Oh, I'm missing our stream. Hold on. To understand this code, I added a lot of write statements. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's effectively what we did with the with the test. Yeah. Okay. So then, let's go. Okay. So this now is sort of encapsulated here. Let's go back to where we were.
Before we do that, how do you feel about the use of aggregate here? Aggregate.
It's fine.
Okay. Is there anything else? We want to commit it like this?
Yeah.
So we've done this thing here. So where is this being? Okay, there. What is this that we just did?
This was extract, remove possibilities.
It's extract a
Although
method, right?
we didn't actually extract it. We
Method by.
rewrite. It's replace method with remove
Oh yeah.
possibilities.
Okay.
Okay. So this now, this for each is actually like it's pretty good, right? But the thing about it is we're passing around these masks and I really don't want to. And we now have the ability, now we don't need the mask, right? We just need the masks to remove. And really we don't even need that. We need the values to remove. Right? So we're pushing mask farther and farther up this chain. I want to push it out of this for each loop. All right? Does that make sense?
Nope, but I will do it.
Okay. Well, let's see where cells is coming out. Yeah, keep going up. Oh, wait, hold on. Scroll up to the top of this. I want to get candidate masks out of here. Candidate mask is being passed into applesauce. And I want to get mask out, but we'll come back to that later. But it takes a mask? I thought something's weird about this. Oh, because we have... Okay, go to is digit possible on line 57. So this takes a candidate's mask and a cell index. But what we have an is digit possible already. Oh, this is static. Sorry. Go back to where we came from. Oh, but we don't know. Oh, we do. We know what the cell index is. So instead of saying to Sudoku board on 59, use the lowercase Sudoku board. Is digit possible? The digit and the cell. So the cell is going to be cell. I think cell has a get cell off of it. Dot. cell. Yeah. And then here, this is going to be a Sudoku board dot get digit is digit get digit from mask.
Yep.
So it's get digits from mask. Is that not a thing? I thought we just wrote that. Do we call it something different?
Get mask for digits.
But go back to find pair. Oh, it's not on Sudoku board. It's on this thing. Get digits from mask. Yeah. And then do a dot unique or a single. That will throw an error if it's not single, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what we really want to do is are digits possible. I hate the to be verb.
Go to
No, because it will still fail. The problem here isn't that it doesn't have one. The problem is that it has more than one. Because this method is badly named. It's saying are digits possible. And let's go into this method or into what it used to be. Go into that. So here, it's really is any digit possible? Okay, now go to the place where we're calling this from, and we're going to say the same thing. Sudoku board dot is any digits possible. Any digit possible.
it's static.
That's
So
fine.
what?
Yeah, we're making a new method. And then we're passing it get digit. So reverse those two parameters. We're going to pass it cell and the digits for the mask. Okay, and now let's write that method.
Hoping it would offer to generate that for me.
Does it not?
It has 3, but it's invoked with 2. It thinks that it's an already existing. So I'm going to give it a dummy name.
There we go.
Do that. And then we're going to get rid of this comment. We're done with that, right?
Well, we're not passing yet, so no, we're not getting rid of that yet. Go back to this. So here, we're going to say, so scroll up to is digit possible. And no, the other is digit possible. So it's that. So all you're going to do here is you're going to say, so you're going to say get masks for digits. And you're going to pass it digits.toArray. And then you're going to do a dot any. And then you're going to pass it D goes to. Sure. Is digit possible D comma cell. And you're going to return that. Why is any not a?
Because this
it's not get digits for. Sorry, it's the okay. So go to try to find. We're in a broken state, so I'm not sure if we can do it. But go back to that place where we are. Try to find pairs of digits. Go down to the bottom of this. Take that method belongs on Sudoku board. Move it there. No. Move it there. Yeah. Okay, now go back to where we were. And this is get digits for mask is what we really want to call.
Here?
Why do we want to do that? No, we just want digits. Digits.any. That's all we want. Sorry, I'm an idiot. Wait, that still should be here, but this is just digits.any. Good. There we go.
So we can get rid of the comment.
Comment.
I feel like even though that was well test covered, I feel bad about using big R. There's so much editing.
Yeah.
Fix
If
the
you want to
rules.
throw a bang in there, you can. But it is well test
Just one
covered.
bang. All right.
So this is also a swap method refactoring.
No. Oh, we're gonna rename this thing to its proper name. That was a lot.
It was a lot, but it's good.
For us.
So now if we go back, yeah, this is like bordering on rewriting. So now,
or let's say it was a MicroRewrite.
This cells not equal to mask. What is that?
Here? I don't know where you're
trying
looking.
Yeah, there, where you were. What is that trying to say? Well, yeah, what is that trying to say?
Is it necessary?
Yep. Oh, I love VJ. that was like appropriately reckless. Appropriately reckless. That was great. Okay, so what is it saying? It's saying, is the cell that we're looking at, if it's not equal to the mask, wait, what?
It seems like a strange thing to ask. That's why I tried deleting it. Like, this isn't the kind of check I'm used to us doing with masks.
I mean, this almost makes me wonder, do we need the second thing? Recklessly delete the second thing. Okay, we need both. So we're saying it's, if it is the mask. Oh! Okay, I understand what it's saying. Let's put a comment above this. We're making code. No. 58. We're making code worse. Check that we're not removing the cells that only have these two digits. That's what it's doing.
What can you explain this rule to me about pair of digits?
Yeah. Right. Open up a. I'm going to drive.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I don't know how to express this.
That's a really important signal in pairing. When the navigator says, "Give me the keyboard," like,
yeah,
that's something to pay attention to.
So allow multiple numbers and cells. Okay, so 1, 2. So this can have a 3, not a 4, not a 5, 6, 7, and 8. This can have a 3, 7, 8. This can have a 3, 7, 8. All right. Now, even if I didn't know the rests of the numbers in this cell, if I just knew that these three boxes could only contain 3, 7, and 8, that would be enough to let me know that none of the other boxes could. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay. So let's do. I mean, I wish.
None of the other boxes. Oh, none of the other blocks.
Yeah. So this can't include an 8. right? Because there's an 8 over here.
Mm-hmm.
And is there any chance we see a 7?
There's a 7 below.
A 7. So this cannot be a 7, and this cannot be a 3.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't help us like we want it to. Okay, but look, this 7 means that here there can't be a 7.
in either of those.
And this 7 means there can't be a 7 here, which means down here there has to be a 7. And these 7s,
Did you write a dot?
a dot just so I'm trying to say it's not 7.
Okay.
It's just my way of doing pencil marks.
Fine.
Okay, so here, this 7 and these two places are the only places that have a 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
And therefore,
That column can't have a 7 in the top,
anywhere else,
right?
yeah, like a 7 must be here. So this cannot have a 7.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put a dot here, right? And let's pretend that we're stupid. So we think that we think it can have an 8. Let's put the 8 back in there. All right, so we haven't figured out yet that other 8. Okay, so this is a 3 and an 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a 3 and an 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 2 cells in a constraint that can only have a 3 and an 8.
Therefore, 7, 8 can't be 3 or 8.
Must be 7.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So the rule is if 2 cells are constrained to the exact same 2 values, then no other cell can have either of those values.
Yes.
All right. Should we rename?
Yes. Is that better than what we have? It sounds
I don't
like
know. I haven't been
like
able to read it until now. Let's go look at the name.
Yeah, let's go look at it.
Am I back on the keyboard?
Yeah.
In a real car, if you give the wheel back, you have to say so.
Hands off.
Otherwise, you crash. Try to find pairs of digits in the same row column
only
block
if you
and
move
remove them from other colliding cells.
That is
All right,
actually sort of what we're doing.
And pairs of digits.
Pairs of possibilities.
Pairs of possibilities. And
So okay. So if we're going to rename this, let's try this. If a constraint has 2 cells with only 2 options, no other cell in that constraint can have them.
Yeah, I agree. What is the pending change here? I want to rename no pending change. Oh, this is the comment. Okay, that's fine.
Add smelly comment.
Code comment is cry for help.
Yes. And that is a big cry. If two cells in a constraint only have 2 possibilities.
Exactly.
Yeah, although that's actually not true, but it's okay. Like, that is the way that this code is written, but it is the case that if 2 cells have, like if one cell can only be a 1 and the other cell can only be a 1 and a 2, that also counts.
That's true. That's just not the rule.
It's just not. I mean, it is the rule that they're doing. They just didn't implement it completely, as far as I can tell.
Okay. And there's also like if one cell is 2, 3, 4, and another cell is 2, 3, 5, and there's no other 2, 3s elsewhere.
Yeah. But that's not what they're doing here. Okay. But if one cell was 2, 3 and one was 2, 3, 4, then that would count as those, and then another one was 2 or 2, 4. It doesn't need to be complete, right? The way this code is written, I believe, at the moment, is I want 2 cells with exactly the same 2 options, but you can be more. You can have a better strategy than what he has. That's why I put the dot in there, or that's why I added the 8 back in so that the rule would trigger. But you don't need the 8. Whatever. Remove those from other possibilities from other cells in the constraint. Ugh. Yeah, sure. Is that better than what we had before? I think so.
Well,
but
Maybe I'm just better than before,
It's a
but I
towing
understand it
cost.
now.
Yeah. This is not a good name. Still not good.
There's a similar rule for 3.
Wait, there's a rule for 1. Can we see the rule for 1? I almost have a good name. Nope. If try to find a number that can only appear once in a cell nut. Okay. Okay, let's rename this to find only option in a constraint.
Is it if a cell has exactly one
No,
option,
so
then
this is
remove that?
if there's only one place for a 1, put a 1.
But it also is removed from everywhere else, right?
I actually don't know if it removes it from the other ones or if it just if there's only a place for a 1, it just puts it there, right?
Okay. So you just used the word option. I think I've been using the word possibility lately.
I like
And I think
possibility better.
constraint. I think
Constraint I like.
candidate is also a synonym. Is that right? Is candidate a
Candidate is
possibility?
yeah, candidate's a possibility.
Okay. We should
Find
move towards
only
normalizing those words.
possibility. Okay, but so let's see if I can do this slightly better. Find unique possibility for digit. Yeah, that sounds good. How's that? So this finds where there's only if there's only one possibility, find it. Is this a decent name for you?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, so
What does
let's
it do
do
when
that.
found?
Don't worry about that.
Because the other one was if then. So this
Okay, so
is
find unique possibility. I don't know what it does. What was the name used to be? Try to find it.
uh,
It didn't tell us what it did. So, but it's fine. So find unique possibility for digit. That's fine. Just and do something. Good. Honest and complete. So now copy that name.
honest. Shall I read? Okay, will we rename more?
Yep. Well,
Okay.
commit. And then go to the one that we're on and rename this to basically the same thing. And say find unique pair possibility for digits.
Unique. Okay. For pair of digits, digit pair of
For
possible.
digit pair for unique pair of of possibilities for digits. It's just digits and do something.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the other one is find unique triple possibility for digits and do something.
Oh.
Oh,
You said triple, but this says n.
it does, but I think it is actually triple. I mean,
Where
I'm
do we see
assuming
that?
it's triple. I don't know. I could be wrong.
When a set of n digits only appears in n cells within constraints, then
Yeah.
no other digits can appear in the same set of cells. All other candidates. So do we need the other two rules?
That's an interesting question.
I know how to test that.
Yeah, let's test it.
Okay, I'm going to read you what we've done so far.
Can we just take out? We have a strategy place. Just comment out. Find pair. Yeah, one thing at a time, buddy.
Kill it all. Okay, it fails, but it might still be producing the final result. So we want to Do we
Yeah,
care?
but we do care because we are working in this exercise under the constraint that we can't change anything.
Yeah. Okay, we're learning.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's still producing the
Same thing. Yeah.
same final result. It's just intermediate results are different.
Actually, it's more than that. Go up. It's not even intermediate. Results are different. It is
Oh,
what is happening in the intermediate results is different. Wait, go
can
back.
we do it again?
Can we do what again?
Remove another.
I mean, we can, but I wouldn't. You already. I see. You want to answer the question: if we didn't have this constraint, would this be okay to do? No, you can't. You need to pick the cells with only one candidate remaining. You need
That
that.
doesn't count as n,
It's
where n
not
is one.
picking. It's removing.
Okay.
One of them is removing possibilities. The other one is picking cells.
So I want it. Yeah, that one seems like it blew up.
Changes behavior, but scroll down.
Still solves.
Still solves the same.
Wow.
Yeah. So
So
all of this being very interesting, but we're going to revert. So
yeah,
it is interesting that there's a lot more code here than we actually need. That is a fun discovery. I like that.
this is so real.
Oh, I love it. Okay. So let's jump back to the place that we were.
I don't know what it's called anymore. Let's see. I think it was this one.
Find unique pair. Yeah. And scroll down to applesauce. Because applesauce, the whole thing here is we're still trying to move the masks up. Or actually, but I want to move the mask out of here, but I also want to move the candidate masks out of here. Right? So if we scroll up, let's get candidate masks out. So for right now, just okay. So this equals mask. This is the mask cells, but why? This is giving us cells with description. Oh, okay. But don't we already have that? Scroll down. All right, so we're gonna scroll up. This is a list of cells with descriptions where the candidate mask of this cell index equals the mask. Okay, so what we need to do is we expand mask down on that's weird. Isn't it just mask? Can you on line 93 just get rid of the first part of that and just make that mask. Breaks. How would that break? No. Get rid of that again. I know it breaks. I trust that it breaks. Our tests are good. But I don't understand why. So values to remove. Because it. okay, hold on. So undo it. The values report. So here, okay, so what you're going to do is on values to remove on 94, because the reason it breaks, it doesn't break what it does, it breaks how it reports. So in front of the Sudoku board, let's just write the English first because my brain is full. So we are going to get the masks and then filter for the ones that are possible. Oh, okay, great. So at the end of line 96, you're going to do a dot where. So, D goes to Sudoku board dot is digit possible for D comma cell. Do we not have a cell here? We must have a cell.
Not really. So
Cell.cell. There you are. Okay. That passes, right?
almost didn't compile.
Was it an array before?
No, it needs to be a to list. Okay. Do you want me to just commit that, or do you want me to remove this part now?
Well, yeah. Remove all three of those lines. Well, and inline. Okay. So commit that, and then extract on 93 that get digits for mask. Yep. And then move it all the way to the top of this method.
Okay, you say that. There's another call here. Do you want them to share?
I do.
Okay, then we have a refactoring for that.
Do that refactoring then. And actually, the name would be digits or pair digits or digits to remove. Okay. And then mask must be used some other places. It's used here under the temp. Is that the same thing we're doing down there?
I don't know what you mean.
So this sells any. Scroll down. So somewhere here we say this while temp junk. What is this doing? Because isn't this just the value? Isn't this just minimum and max? Like on line 90, replace this with digits to remove. Where it says lower. Digits to remove dot min. Yeah. I let one of them pass first before. Okay, good. And now that so this is
So you know a different way to do that might be clearer is to just assign min and max to lower and upper.
okay. But then don't reassign them.
Yeah, and delete. Min. Let's do that. Max.
No, you can't delete. No, you can't just delete 79 through 83. Well, delete 81 and 82, even more specifically. There. That should work. There we go. So now we can definitely delete that for block, and we can definitely.
That's good.
And this matters? Doesn't
I don't
matter?
think we're using value anywhere.
Where's value being used?
Nowhere else.
All right, and then we can get rid of temp as well. And then we can inline upper and lower.
Just stop to.
Good point. Scroll up. Okay, so we have this mask is still somehow being used right here on line 60. I really want to get rid of that. So, so here, change line 60 to be Sudoku board dot, or no, sorry, digits to remove dot all. No. Yes.
What was this true for all that showed up here? What is this? How
Determines
is that
whether
not the
every
same as
element
all?
is,
Oh, it's a feature of list as opposed to
yeah.
being. Okay, anyway.
So all, okay, so we're writing it sort of wrong. So D goes to, is digit possible?
Like this. Sudoku word is digit possible?
No, sorry, this is wrong. Sorry. Go back and say Sudoku board. No. Crap. So what we're trying to say is there a digit that's possible? We need a digit to be possible that's not one of these. That's what we're trying to say, right? Like we don't want to find something which is only these two digits, right? So do this for a second. Just go in front of this
In
and
front of
say,
what?
yeah, right here, and say Sudoku board. No, sorry. Say enumerable.range 0 through 9 or 1 through 9. 1 to 9 dot where Sudoku board dot or D goes to Sudoku board dot is possible for D comma cell is not equal to digits to remove.
That's not a
Yeah.
thing.
So okay, but so the way to do that is to say dot. Sorry, no. Get rid of. You need a parenthesis after before the not equal. Dot minus is minus a thing in lists. Dot remove. Dot. I want to
Without.
subtract two lists. Oh, actually, except. Perfect. Except digits to remove. Actually, don't even do the except. Take that out. In front of the Sudoku board is possible. Just say, actually, even before this, do another where D is not in digits to remove. No, just digits to remove. Contains D. Yeah.
You want not, right?
Where it doesn't contain D. Oh, yeah, here we can actually do an except. So do this in front. So here say except digits to remove And then that where just becomes any. We still need the any, the rest of it. So the first where disappears, and the second where is changed to an any. Yeah, and then put an and on it, and cell.cell. Cell.cell. Boom, boom, boom. You need one more parenthesis. Okay, that should work. Good. And now mask is gone, and I believe the only place it is used right now is line 54. Damn it, it's not. It's still cells with descriptors. All right, we'll have to handle this next time. But can we put a to-do here of get rid of mask and get rid of, like, we want to get rid of the masks and we want to get rid of the candidate masks. We're close, but they're still here. All right. So this is removing masks. So emotionally, I'm torn. There's part of me that's like, we're picking up speed. Notice we're doing a lot more rewrites than we're doing refactorings now. And I think the reason for that is we can take slightly bigger steps, but also we understand what's going on in a way that we just didn't when we started this exercise, right? But there's also this feeling of like, what's that called? A fractal, right? Where it's like, we got all this code and now it's done. And then we have this other part and it's just as messy and it takes us just as long to go through this piece as it does to go through the other pieces. I mean, we're going faster and the code that we're ending up with is much better, right? Like we are taking really cryptic pieces of the code and pulling them out. Whereas before we were just sort of putting things into applesauce containers. But it also feels like you'll never hit the bottom of this, which, you will, but the real question is it even worth being here? And I'm not sure that it is. I guess that's the part that I'm torn on is this is an artificial problem, but if it wasn't an artificial problem, I would very much be asking, are we in the right place? It feels like if this was a real problem, this would be a place to talk to the product manager and say, I don't think these methods are going to change in the future. Right? We should just let them be. I remember having a talk with Jason Kearney. He was on a project where I was brought in to help with the project, and then I brought him in, but he stayed permanently, and I continued consulting. And I remember talking to him a couple of years later because most of that project was in VB. All of that project was in VB when we started. And we had moved a lot of it to C#. And it is now like a year or two later, and I'm like, they must be done with the VB. And so I'm like, hey, do you still have any Visual Basic? And he was like, yeah, we got about 80% of our code base is still Visual Basic. And I was like, heart fallen. Like I was like, 2 years later, like 80% like that. Oh man, that sounds really bad. I'm like, how often are you in it? Like how much of your month is in Visual Basic? And he's like, oh, maybe 1 or 2 hours a month. And I'm like, oh, right. No, that's, of course. Why would you rewrite 80% of your project that only needs an hour a month of maintenance? Like that makes no sense at all. And so I have that feeling going on right now, which is not that what we're doing is bad, but what are the odds that this code is ever going to change? Like, do we actually need to fix this? Is this a,
Sure.
yeah,
I usually would approach that empirically, like when I need to change the code, that's when I do some cleanup.
yeah,
If I don't need to change it, I'll never clean it up. And Arlo, I remember, told the story of eventually we will get to the point where there's a whole lot, like we have some code that is in really good shape and some other code that we've never touched, and it's
yeah,
pretty clear the distinction. And we'll take the never touched code and put it in a module called like old bad code.
yeah.
And the only way you could ever touch it is first pull it out and start cleaning it up. But as long as you never have to go into that module, that's fine. It can be a pit of whatever, and we'll just ignore it.
I love that. I really love that. I think that would be fantastic. An old bad code module. Yeah. All right. The other thing that's interesting to me that's been happening is we've been so we created a couple utilities to deal with masks, right? And they're all right now in Sudoku board, but it doesn't quite feel like that's the right place, right? Like it almost feels like there needs to be a masks utils object, probably just called masks, right? That will give you a mask, take a mask. Um, yeah, that would be domain mask object, utils object. That feels like it's needed. I love that we are moving to higher level, like we're removing primitive obsession. We're doing it in a weirdly scrubby pull out method, but that feels really good. There is this weird part with cells, but I'm not sure if it's weird enough to care about. But I love that this is now talking in the language of what are the digits I'm trying to remove, and and like one of the questions we're trying to ask in that piece of code we just pulled out is, are only these digits possible? Right.
Mhm.
That's a question that they're trying to ask, and there's a couple places where they're asking that. Like, find me the places where these are the only two digits possible. And I'm not sure if it's
Yeah.
yeah.
I was surprised
Whoa,
to
whoa, whoa,
find
whoa, whoa,
out
whoa!
that
How did you
what
do the arrow happy thing?
I right clicked on it and said connect to node, and then clicked where I wanted to go.
Cool, thank you.
I was surprised that most of our code is not strictly necessary.
Yes. If we had a different test that didn't preserve every step being the
Mhm.
same, we could have deleted like 2/3 of the code. Just just gone. Right in the very beginning. We could have gone from like 1,000 lines. That is I the thing that was interesting to me when there is when you're like, oh, it's like real life. Because you're right. Like that code wasn't dead code, but it wasn't necessary code. It was a whole bunch of code that we don't need that is going to cost us lots of time to understand and be a whole bunch of places for bugs. And
Mhm.
yet, that's what we got
And this happens all the time. I mean, you have a
all
lot
the
of
time.
code. How can you know what you already have? Of course, you go and write more,
Yeah.
but you don't need. Yeah. All right. I feel like we're at time. I need to
Oh, I got a thing
go to
saying see
work.
the chat. I really don't think that is true. See comments above. So Claire is saying uh, it may still solve the same because the last algorithm picks. Oh, that's an interesting point. Um, so Claire is pointing out that like there's an algorithm that picks between two known good solutions. So we don't actually know if it's solving correctly, because there's this weird part of the game where, because it doesn't guarantee a unique solution, it might invoke that. We do actually pass in the solution to the solver, which is weird. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe they do need that code. Although I am suspecting that you are correct, that if it is actually doing in and in, that's also one and it feels like it's handling the case for one, the case for two, and the case for in. If that is the case, in can equal one and in can equal two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Same time, same place next week?
Yep.
All right. I'll see you then. Thanks.
See ya.